shameless self-promotion for doing this. So, do I need this? Yes. Okay. You may regret it. USOSB has been around for about 25 years. In fact, we just celebrated our 25th anniversary. Got about 1,000 members. We impact about 100,000 students and entrepreneurs a year. We hold our annual meeting in mid-January, which will be in New Orleans this coming year. I invite you all to be there. I'd like to get to be, instead of 550, get to 700 there this next January. We kind of work on 4 pillars. Entrepreneurship education is our biggest single pillar. Outreach, public policy, and research. So we were just chatting, and one of the things we're going to do is build a research exchange and a program exchange. So if you're doing something unique, by June you should be able to post it on our website. Everybody look at it and say, hey, that's cool. I'll contact Jim and see if they'll cooperate and do that research project or work on that outreach, whatever it is. So that's who we are and what I'm here for. Just to give you, and I think to balance age. I skew the average age. I've been doing this for 40 years now, since my first entrepreneurship class, so it's been a while. So I'm going to introduce you to Jeff Hoffman. Those of you that saw in the schedule, Priceline clearly shows up. We all know about Priceline, but Jeff said I could only pick 3 things out of his bio. So the first is his new color jar. I love the concept of these venture accelerators, and I compliment him for doing that. Those of you that are involved in that activity, it's fantastic. The second thing I think that was clearly here is the number and the extent of the kinds of companies, including Priceline. And when you sell out to somebody like American Express, you know you've pocketed $1 or $2. And the other thing is that twice he's been named one of the most influential, 25 most influential people in the travel and tourism. So I think, we got a real expert here who's done it, lived it, and is now helping roll those kind of jobs that we all want to do. So Jeff, can I get you to come up?
Thank you. You okay with this? First of all, I am thrilled to be here since the first time that I met Arel and saw his energy. It's pretty infectious, to say the least, and whatever he was doing, I wanted to do that too. I guess what I'm going to do is tell you a couple little stories that relate to entrepreneurship education, but also to my entrepreneurial journey. For me, entrepreneurship started when I was in college. I picked a university I really wanted to go to without realizing that all those things that say that admission is need blind and doesn't matter your financial situation were just brochures, and were in fact not necessarily true. So I wanted to go to Yale. I wanted to get a business education there, and I got in and I went to the school, and the very first day I was in class, I got a note handed to me saying, FYI, you have to pay to attend here. I paid everything I had, but it was a far cry from paying the tuition. And they said, you can't go to class, you need to leave now because you didn't pay enough. So I walked down to the treasurer's office, basically the university, and I said, look, I did everything I needed to do to become a student here and to get in here, and I gave you every cent that I had, and you gave me something, but I just can't afford to be here. And their answer was pretty much go home. And I said, what kind of payment plan do you have? And they said, for people with no money, we don't. And I said, what if I came up with money every month? And they said, how exactly are you going to do that? And I said, I'll start a company. So I literally I was going there thinking that I was going to follow a legal path. But the hot thing in the world was software. So I went and got the local newspaper, not really looking at jobs, looking at businesses. And there were a lot of companies that had bids out that they needed companies to write custom software for them back in that day. So I went down to the nearest Kinko's equivalent, made up a name of a company, made a letterhead, got on a bus, went down to the state capitol, paid the $15 to actually register this thing, and I came home and I said, all right, I have a $15 stamp and a piece of paper with a name on it. I have a company now. That's about as much as I knew. I wrote a proposal and submitted it to one of those ads, somebody looking for custom software development, and a funny thing happened. The phone rang in my dorm room, and I grabbed it quickly, and they said, we're looking for this company, and I said, yeah, that's me. And there was a long pause, and something was wrong. I said, what's wrong? And they said, this is a student number in dorm at Yale. I said, yes, it is. They said, sorry, wrong number. They hung up and called right back. So we're looking for a company. I said, I'm a company. And they said, something's wrong here. I said, what's wrong? And they said, we had 7 companies submit proposals, and yours was by far the best. You won the bid. And they said, but you're not really a company, are you? And I said, I can do everything in that proposal. In fact, I had no clue how to do any of the things in that proposal, but I was not going home. All right, I did everything I had to do to go to Yale, and I ain't leaving. So what I did was, it was, again, they were like, well, and I said, look, you awarded me the contract with the best vendor, give me a week, give me some trial. Let's start this thing, and I'll show you that I can do what I said better than these other companies. So they said yes, unbelievably. I went down to find a quote office for my new company. I found a room in the basement at Yale, dark and dingy with no lighting, leaking water, but it was down there where no one was using it. I kind of made a makeshift desk out of boxes and stuff, and got a desktop computer down there, and bing, I was a company. I went around to the local high schools and other universities, including Yale, and posted signs, programmers needed. Suddenly I had a small army of people working for a lot less than I was charging in the proposal. So I wrote software, delivered the software, took the difference, and every week I walked in the treasurer's office at Yale, put the check down in front of the guy, and walked out pretty much without saying a word, because they found out later, they had an office pool betting how long it would be before I was gone. They told me this at graduation, needless to say, I wasn't gone. Interesting thing happened. I got a letter one day from the administration. It says, not only is what you're doing, illegal and against the rules, we found out you're running a business in the bowels of the university. You can't run a business here, and we're not only throwing your business out, but we're thinking of throwing you out of school for violating the rules. Okay? And think about it. My intent was to pay for my education. This was my crime. So I went to the president's office, which at the time was an absolute hero of mine named Bart Giamatti, the president of Yale. And I asked him, what do we have this university? What is the goal? And he said basically to create productive citizens. I said, what's the definition of a productive citizen? He said, people are out in the community creating value, creating jobs, making a difference. And I said, so let's say I ran a company, and I hired a lot of people, and I created jobs, and I created value in the community. Is that not the whole purpose for this university? And he said, yeah, why? Then I produced a letter. And I said, well, you're kicking me out for doing just that. And the trap pretty much worked. He looked at it, and he said, I'll get back to you. And I walked out thinking I probably should pack. The next day after class, I came back, there were workers in the basement hauling all my stuff out, and I said, well, that's that. It was nice while it lasted. He moved me into an office on campus, gave me real letterhead, gave me lighting, gave me a computer, gave me assistance, asked me to sign basically that I'll agree to the rules, and said, this is exactly what this is all about. And in fact, that was my first entrepreneurship experience, was the university saying, you know what? Now that's the only help I got. What you guys are doing is a lot bigger. And if I had somebody, because the problem was, that was nice, I actually had air conditioning and heat now, I still had no idea how to run a company.